welcome to International Women's Day 2021. We are live streaming from New York at La Mama ETC, my theatrical home, and we have a whole bunch of wonderful artists from all over the world. We hope you enjoy the show and thank you for all your support. Buongiorno a tutti quanti, io sono Marisa Buffone da Toronto, stiamo trasmettendo questo programma per voi da New York. Spero vi piacerà, vi ringrazio per tutti i vostri email e tanti saluti ai miei compaesani e buon proseguimento.
Once she was a good girl, but now that she has seen the world, she isn't that good anymore. Pouring down, pouring down, pouring down with rain. It's pouring down, pouring down, pouring down with rain. Outside, when someone comes close, she puts on wicked clothes, and there she goes. It's pouring down, pouring down, pouring down with rain. It's pouring down, pouring down, pouring down with rain. The Inuit myth, Sessuma Auna, Mother of the Sea, tells the story of a young woman who was forced by her father to marry a man. In the beginning, she did not approve of that marriage. Then she slowly began to feel attracted to him, since he was charismatic and a very good hunter. But one day, the young woman realized that he was a raven man, and she decided to run away from him. One night, while the raven man was out hunting, Sessuma Auna's father, who now felt sorry for his daughter, helped her run away, taking her out on the sea in his kayak. When the raven man discovered that the young woman was gone, he became furious and chased the young woman and her father out into the sea, creating stormy waves with his wings. In desperation, her father chopped off Sessuma Auna's fingers with his paddle. They dropped into the ocean, and the young woman collapsed, sinking into the deep darkness.
Harvey, want anything special for your birthday? Just a decent cup of coffee.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. Honey, your coffee's undrinkable.
It's pretty harsh.
Well, so's your coffee. You know, the girls down at the office make better coffee on their hot plates. Well, see you later.
And he didn't even kiss me goodbye. You know, if I could just make a decent cup of coffee, I could relax. So, relax. Why don't you try Instant Folgers? Tastes good as fresh perked. Good as fresh perked. I'll surprise Harvey for his birthday tonight.
Hey, great coffee.
It's Instant Folgers. Doesn't it taste good as fresh perked?
Better.
Better than those girls make at the office?
Honey, their coffee can't hold a candle to yours.
Instant Folgers taste good as fresh perked. Try it.
Perfect Love. He left me for a girl who drove a beige Subaru. He left me for a girl whose breasts didn't need a bra, for a girl who didn't need confessions, whose smooth white thighs opened without guilt. He left me for a girl who didn't hang rosary beads on bedroom walls, a girl whose blood was bluer than her eyes, her accent charmingly English. He left me for a love that wouldn't confuse him, a love that was perfect. She left him for someone with a bigger car. They won't talk about sex. They talk about everything else. It embarrasses them. As if their children were all announcements by Gabriel. You know, the angel. Not me. It doesn't embarrass me. I had my eyes wide open, as well as my legs. Look at their faces. Look at their faces. They hide them in shame for having desires. Not me. I felt my man, and he felt me. I was so beautiful. I was so beautiful. Non sapevo dove metterlo. I know you think I am vulgar. I talk vulgar. An old woman shouldn't talk so vulgar. But I wasn't always old. Only death is old. Only death is vulgar. Father called me whore, and my mother cried. A young Italian woman's claim to prostitution is any activity past the midnight hour. His eyes were coral as he rammed the fist inside my mouth, reminding me. And my mother screamed. The walls are knocking. How will they face the neighbors in the morning? If only I could be more like my married sister or the virgin daughters of the virgin neighbors. And how did the devil come to live inside my house? And my mother prays.
Hello. This poem is for International Women's Day, dedicated to all the women who have to keep silent. The poem is entitled Forgiveness. I had an aunt, special she was to me. Tia never changed, reminding us always where we came from. Unforgettable expressions. Her eyes could tell you more. If she smiled, she was stealing happiness. If she felt joy, it was a sin. If she talked, it was nonsense. And if she cried, it was because she deserved it. Tia is now in heaven, talking to the angels and praying for us to forgive him. Thank you. Hello, my name is Bruna, and I am reading a second poem, and it's entitled Crescent Moon. Thunder over the river above the high falls lights up the sky with a loud roar. Tranquil is the night air, while the moon between the pines makes its appearance, and slowly comes upon us. The moon has me captive of her existence since I was a child. I search for her. I have painted her. I told her of my dreams. I made love under the moon, while the wind caressed my skin and her reflection glittered on the river. Thank you. Hello, my name is Bruna, and I will be reading you a poem entitled, I Travel with My Thoughts. Branches of maple trees glitter like diamonds. Winter brings the beauty of fables. A blanket of snow covers the valley, and the blue sky reflects on a frozen lake. A swallow perches on a roof. In Rome, the mimosa is in full bloom. My thoughts travel on the crest of a wave and returns. Thank you.
She was a naked log tree, colorless, naked log tree. A naked log tree, colorless, naked log tree. But during the night, the horizon was blinded by her golden figure. Her soul spread a whistle sound that warmed up the fragile air and melted in the water as a spiral flow. Her voice was a misty mask, and her rounded skin was a silk. Her voice was a misty mask, and her rounded skin was a silk. She was the blinded by.
È una bella poesia, mi ha lasciato un poco di melanconia. Mi manca tutti i giorni un mare a viola, ma c'è la speranza che mi consola. Con un giorno potremo ripetere il passato, con un'Italia che nessuno ha lasciato. Invece di partire, insieme potremo stare. Nessuno pigliò l'aeroplano, di chi lo caviamo, ne accontentiamo. Perché chi lo caviamo non si può accattare, perché chi lo caviamo non si può vendere. Avevamo un cuore grande che luce più di loro, e l'affetto per noi che è il più grande tesoro. Sti bene nessuno ne può pigliare, e allora in pace potremo stare. Intanto io vai avanti e sogno sicura che tutto si consa per via del Signore. Che anche un giorno potremo ripetere il passato con una Calabria che nessuno ha lasciato. It's a nice poem, you see. It left me a little bit melancholy. Every day I miss the purple sea, but it is hope that does console me. One day we can repeat the past with a South that no one has left, alas. Instead of leaving our company, we will be keeping. No one will take the train, boat, or plane. Of what we have, we will not complain, because what we have cannot be bought, because what we have cannot be sold. We have a heart so great that shines as gold, and love for us is the biggest treasure, so bold. These goods from us cannot be taken, and so at peace we can be, let's not be mistaken. And so forward I go as sure as I am that all will be fine through the Lord, amen. That one day we can repeat the past with a South that no one has left, alas.
Che bella giovane, capata, ma quanto è bella che fa morire. La bocca spammanata quando fa, li labbra imbuccarate, scoperti e di rosavioli. Di rosaviole, ma la scoperti e di rosaviole rose e rosi e la tua ne va sposa, la tua ne va sposa e tutta perfetta va, la mattina che cosa e la pose della mala, la cavo sempre la vostra, la bella bugnosa Barcellona. Quando è bella la buca da pezza e padrone di tre città, quando cammina non c'è stessa, quando è bella la buca. Hey!
It is a midwinter day in 1923. Nana reaches for the last loaf of bread in her pantry, cradles it in her hands, kisses it, traces the sign of the cross on the crust, and breaks it into two. She places the larger portion on a white linen cloth, gathers the four corners, and folds them into a knot to make a parcel. She presents it to her husband. Their four young children watch, silently. They see him remove his black hat. They watch the long formal embrace, a single silhouette framed by the balcony window. The low-hanging clouds weep over this family group portrait that is about to crumble. Tomorrow morning at the crack of dawn, Nanno, with his broken bread safely stored away in his travel bag, will walk past the cemetery on his way to Pizzo, where he will board a train to Naples. There he will embark on an ocean liner. 2 weeks later he will set foot in the New World, in Argentina. Nana will not bake again for him for the next 7 years.
Oi ninna 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 nanna, sto figlio che vo dormì, vo fa la nanna. Chiamo Madonna e chiamo te lo pigli e portalo passiano e portalo passiano a chi sto figlio.
Si può molto bene, a mancare, non sacca. Praticamente da Sapolo mio, nascevo in Truro, battuto in tre, ora sto in Sapolo mio. Poi ci viene, perciò 29, 98, perciò 29, e stesso 20 anni e 6 mesi. E da stesso, me lo sto con una cosa, 3 anni sono morti, 3 anni sono morti. E allora uscita con me.
My Calabrian Nana was a born storyteller. During those never-ending, icy-cold winter evenings with the rain pounding on the clay roof tiles, she would gather her grandchildren around her as we elbowed each other in the hope of claiming the warmest spot next to the brazier. In the reddish glow of the embers, we fought a losing battle against sleep, till the sound of Nana's voice took us on a flying carpet journey to a land of wonders beyond the sea, Argentina. A place of dreams, where the Nano I had never met lived, and whose longed-for letter would arrive each month with news of his life in Buenos Aires. For over 2 decades, this letter was Nana's only connection to him. Nana was not alone. Many other women in the village, mothers and wives, many of them illiterate, also waited for their monthly letter. In their long vigils, they gathered in each other's houses and sat by the fire. Small children nestled in their laps, older ones crouched at her feet. Pictures of their men, inscrutable sepia-toned smiles frozen in time, stared from the mirror in the kitchen cupboard where they had been wedged, next to pictures of dead relatives. A shrine to the departed, the living and the dead. Crouched underneath the table, where it was always warmest, I was held spellbound by their web of spirited chatter laced with sadness and laughter, and with my grandmother's bodiness that made the younger women blush. Women alone, weaving a fiction around their common fate, vedove bianche, women bereaved by emigration, not death, imagining a life, greedy children storing every detail. From underneath the kitchen table, desperately trying to keep sleep at bay, I gaze upon the small gathering of the living and the dead, peering at me from ragged photographs. Nanno's piercing eyes watch over me as I listen to Nanna's tales of his adventures at the other end of the world. Stories of partings and reunions, of how she and her betrothed parted for the first time when at the age of 16 he embarked clandestinely on an ocean liner leaving for New York, of how 5 years later he returned as penniless as he left to marry her, of how the Great War visited so much misery on their growing family that she and Nanna were forced to part again. For 20 years she waited for the monthly letter and the remittance of whatever money he had managed to save. Her alimony of sorrow, her alimony of hope. In the warm glow of the embers, the boundaries of time and geography melt away. The cemetery in Argentina fuse into one single imaginary place. A destination beyond time where grown-up men, my Nanno among them, wander aimlessly, shadows on streets paved with gold, looking for work. Sleep comes, always too soon. It is the winter of 1949. I am 5 years old. Nanna wakes me up at dawn. She takes me to the balcony. Guarda comunica. I am enchanted. It's my first snowfall. In the sky, shrouded in the blue light of dawn, thousands and thousands of tiny white birds, silent nocturnal swallows, flutter in the morning breeze looking for a place to rest. Nanna brings me a cup of barley tea topped with freshly fallen snow. If I am lucky, she will throw in a dollop of vino cotto, a syrupy potion of cooked and fermented wine. Oh, the taste of it! But only every 3 years or so. Only then, God, if I had been good, would reward me with a white mantle of flaky joy, which Nanna would quickly turn into the magic brew of childhood. From Nanna's tiny balcony, and as far as the eye could see, angels. I can still hear Nanna saying it, still long for it to be true. Armies of angels had worked all night long to spread the thin white shroud over the oleanders on her balcony, over the red-tiled roofs, over the sparkling blackness of the cobbled stairways over the village streets, over the silvery greenness of the olive trees down by the river, over the tombstones in the small cemetery on the way to the train station. On this already singular morning, Nanna announces that preparations are underway to go and meet my Nanno. After a 20-year absence, he is returning home from Buenos Aires. The snow has melted. A small family procession, my father and mother, a newborn brother, my 20-year-old aunt who will meet her father for the first time, and Nanna, wends its way past the cemetery towards Pizzo. My task is to hold on to the donkey's reins, who follows us solemnly, as if she too realized the importance of this journey to the sea. The train door opens. Nanna and my mother, smiling through their tears, rush to meet a frail old man. He removes his black hat and reveals a few tufts of white hair on his bald head. They gather him in their arms, cover him in kisses. The mysterious man of the monthly letter looks out from Nanna's protective embrace, his gaze fixed on his young daughter. I am chided for not rushing to greet my Nanno. I hide behind her, cling to her skirts. On the way out from the station to the village, he rides on the donkey. I sit in front of him. He speaks to me in a foreign language. I am afraid. I take comfort in the aroma of violets hiding in the bramble bushes that line the path back to Nanna's house. The unmistakable aroma that announces the arrival of spring.
La bicicletta mia bicicletta, la bicicletta mia bicicletta, lu cammina e dove viverà, lu cammina e dove pare che balla, pare che balla, pare che balla, lu cammina e dove pare che balla. E lu da pure tu me vile di Roma, lu da pure tu me vile di Roma, io la venuta na vivera, me la venuta na napolitana, 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 me la venuta na napolitana. Amore, amore, c'è mai fatto fare, amore, amore, c'è mai fatto fare, le 15 anni ma vuoi liberare, 15 anni mai fatto bacire, fatto bacire, fatto bacire, le 15 anni mai fatto bacire. A si virica le codula lo vede, a si virica le codula lo vede, a chi la lo segna che vuole vivere, a chi la lo segna che vuole ballare, vuole ballare, vuole ballare, chi la lo segna che vuole ballare. Allo da pure tu ma vede Lucia, allo da pure tu ma vede Lucia, via tu giro zona, via tu giro zona, via tu giro zona, giro via, ya giro via, ya giro via, via tu giro zona, giro via na. A si virica le codula lo vede, a si virica le codula lo vede, a chi la lo segna che vuole vivere, a chi la lo segna che vuole ballare, vuole ballare, vuole ballare, chi la lo segna che vuole ballare. Allo da pure tu ma vede Lucia, allo da pure tu ma vede Lucia, via tu giro zona, via tu
La sera io passai delle patule e tisilerano più le cantare e tisilerano più le cantare. A una io le senti cantare che me pariane l'urusciu dell'umar, che me pariane l'urusciu dell'umare. L'urusciu dell'umare tanto forte, la figlia dell'ure se della morte, e da se della morte e la vita, la figlia dell'ure se de marita, la figlia dell'ure se marita. E da se marita io menzuro, la figlia dell'ure me denu fiur, e da me denu fiure e una palma, la figlia dell'ure stave la Spagna, la figlia dell'ure stave la Spagna. E da se bella Spagna e un Turchia, la figlia dell'ure la zita mia.
The 8th of March is a very strong day because this is the era of Venus, both for woman and me. This is the time that will teach us how the world can expand, both for woman and man, both for woman and man.
International Women's Day is a day that's been going on for a long time, and yet it seems that we haven't really gotten so far. So let us unite this year and fight and gain some momentum and look at gender parity forever. Essere uguali per sempre. Grazie.
Hello, I'm George Drance, and I'm very grateful to Marisa to be asked to lend my voice to this celebration of International Women's Day. When Marisa asked me about what International Women's Day meant to me, I thought immediately of all of the women who work tirelessly at La Mama to continue Ellen's vision and to make sure that it thrives. So I think of Mia, I think of Mary, I think of Bev, of Kauri, Kiku, I think of Denise, I think of everyone who works in the office and doesn't often get a lot of thanks, so I give you my thanks now. I think of the Trojan Women Project. I think of Ani and Kim and Maud and Sarah and Bill, of course, but more in terms of the women who are working with us, continuing Ellen's vision, but also continuing Liz Suedo's vision with that project. I think of the many women who have inspired me to be a better artist at La Mama with the Great Jones Company, with the various companies that participate in La Mama's community. So today I'd like to read a poem by Potri Ranka Manis Keano Nur. This is a poem that Potri wrote for Ellen shortly after her death, but reworked it in recent days and kindly gave me the poem to read for this celebration. And it's called Ellen Stewart's Real Flight. She flies again, not on the airlines to Seoul or Umbria, nor to Guatemala or Johannesburg. No, not to the Philippines or India. Yes, she did. This is a real flight. with snow angels, wing print on snowy windowsills. Mama Ellen's laughter echoing like the bells heralding a premiere or a gala. Her big smile is full of radiance, warming the cold earth with her maternal embrace, giving birth to poets, musicians, thespians, and gladiators. Now she can give her utmost applause to the generations that will keep her alive. Thank you very much for listening, and I wish you all a happy and healthy International Women's Day and Women's History Month.
Turinina chi vai, Turinina chi vai, lumare mare, a ritornella, Turinina chi vai, lumare mare. Ferma quando te dico, ferma quando te dico, due parole, a ritornella, ferma quando ti dico, due parole. Corrai e tarilu, corrai e tarilu, sospira mare, a ritornella, corrai e taralu, sospira mare. Per vedere mi risponda, per vedere mi risponda, lo mio bene, a ritornella, per vedere mi risponde, lo mio bene. Non mi rispondano, non mi rispondano, è troppo lontano. A ritornella non mi rispondano, è troppo lontano. È tutta una frescura, è tutta una frescura, chi sta dormendo. A ritornella è tutta una frescura, chi sta dormendo. Poi si ripiglia cu, poi si ripiglia cu, nu chianta l'occhi, o ritornella, poi si ripiglia cu, nu chianta l'occhi. Si stuglia l'occhi e lì, si stuglia l'occhi e lì, passa lu chianto, o ritornella, si stuglia l'occhi e lì, passa lu chianto. Piglia lu mucaturu, piglia lu macaturi, lu vai al lavo. O ritornella, piglia lu macaturi, lu vai al lavo. Poi ti lu spanno a lu, poi ti lu spanno a nu, peda de rose. O ritornella, poi ti lu spanno a nu, peda de rose. Poi ti lo mando a na, poi ti lo mando a Napoli a tirare. O ritornella, poi ti lo mando a Napoli a tirare. Poi ti lo coglie a na, poi ti lo coglie alla napoletana. O ritornella, poi ti lo coglie alla napoletana. Poi ti lumanucu, poi ti lumanucu, vento a portare o ritornella, poi ti lo mando cu vento a portare. Ventuva portacello, ventuva portacello, allo mio bene, o ritornella, ventuva portacello, al mio bene. Meramo non ti cada, meramo non ti cada, e sopra mare, o ritornella, meramo non ti cada, per sopra mare. Caperduli sigilli, caperduli sigilli, di stu cuore, ori caperduli sigilli, di stu cuore. O ritornella, caperduli sigilli, di stu cuore.